Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I wanted to talk about the Recon class in Battlefield 4 because as of right now, I want to say that it's my favorite kit in the game. I know everyone is raving about the AK-12 and the assault rifles for the medic class and how amazing they are, and while I would agree, they are a lot of fun to use and they do tickle my fancy, there is just something about the bolt-action rifles in this game that is just so satisfying. And I know that some people are kind of complaining about the bolt-action rifles and they're finding them to be a little underwhelming, and one of those reasons being is that it seems to be kind of hard to get a one-shot kill if you aim for the upper chest like you would back in Battlefield 3. You guys know that in Battlefield 3, DICE created a system where if you get an upper chest shot and you're within 15 meters and you are using one of these high-powered rifles, that you get a nice little multiplier, and this will give you the one-shot kill. And while that is also true for Battlefield 4, the difference is that everyone, and I mean everyone, starts off with the defensive tree field upgrades. And the first upgrade, the first unlock for the defensive tree is armor. And what armor does is that if you were within 10 to 15 meters, or if you go against someone who is using a bolt-action rifle or I even think it's a shotgun, and they go for the upper chest shot, they're not going to get the one-shot kill, giving you a pretty large advantage over those weapons. And since everyone unlocks or starts off with those field upgrades, hopefully this makes it very obvious why it is so challenging to use bolt-action rifles at this point and why people are kind of complaining. And so what I would recommend doing is always aiming for the head. Even if you are 5 feet away from your target, just go for the headshot, because if you give them the chance, if you give them a hit marker and you have to switch on over to your pistol, they're going to take you out. I don't know what it is about Battlefield 4 beta, maybe it's just the netcode, maybe they've really bumped up the damage significantly, but it just feels like weapons hit really hard. So if you give the enemy a split second, you are not going to last very long. That being said though, it is a lot easier to get headshots in this game, and also just to be consistent with those headshots. And probably the largest contributing factor of that is what they've done with the suppression effect. Back in Battlefield 3, suppression was pretty much a Recon's bane of their existence. Like if you were fully suppressed and you were using a high-powered rifle and you tried to go for a headshot on someone, that bullet was going to fly in some random direction and you were probably not going to last very long after that. But now in Battlefield 4, what they've done is they've gotten rid of the random bullet deviation, and now it just increases your weapons kind of sway back and forth. So as long as you're able to control that and your aim is solid, you are going to get a headshot every single time, and suppression is no longer an issue. And so I would have a lot of times where I was winning firefights against assault and engineer players, and being able to say that feels so good, because back in Battlefield 3, that really wasn't the case. You miss the first shot, you're pretty much done. And now in Battlefield 4, if you miss the first shot, even if you are suppressed, you can still retaliate, and as long as your accuracy is good, you are going to be able to take them out. Another reason why I think it may be a little bit easier to drop or to get headshots in this game is people are saying that the controls and just your soldier feels a little bit heavier, and so you kind of have slower movement, it kind of feels a little bit clunkier, and when you are going against someone or you are playing in a video game where movement is slower and it's harder for people to kind of react or kind of have that twitch movement, it's easier to line up headshots against them. Like if they're not just kind of twitching and bobbing all over the place, kind of like what they did back in Battlefield 3, it just makes it easier for you to be consistent, to be able to determine where they're going to be heading and then lining up those shots. I'm not exactly sure if that is 100% true, because they haven't really officially said, or DICE hasn't officially come out and said that they have done something to the movement, but that just kind of feels like the general consensus of what everyone's kind of been talking about, and if that is the case, that would be kind of maybe one of the reasons why it just feels a little bit easier to get headshots. The motion sensors, or what I like to call the motion balls or Pokeballs, are phenomenal. They're a little bit different, or they function a little bit differently than how they worked back in Bad Company 2, where if you throw them, they don't have that nice little circle on the minimap kind of letting you know where the motion sensor is, but they basically function the same way, where if anyone is within 25 meters of the motion sensor, they're going to be picked up on the minimap. And if you use that knowledge to your advantage, like, you can flank so many people. And one combination that I love is to use it with the carbines. The carbines in Battlefield 4 are ridiculous. Like, I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be running with this when the game launches because they are amazing. And if you do that in combination with the motion sensors, like, you are going to be able to just flank and destroy people, and they're not going to have any idea that you're there. And so just think that with a suppressed carbine, like, the amount of destruction, the amount of kills is going to be insane. And I cannot wait to play around with those loadouts. There is one thing that I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence on, and that is the new bullet trail system on the bolt action rifles. You guys will see throughout today's video, every single time I fire a shot with a high-powered rifle, you have this little trail that follows your bullet. And basically what this does is it makes it easier for you to kind of follow the trail and kind of how the bullet is flying through the air, the bullet drop, the bullet speed, and all that good stuff. But it also makes it easier for the enemy to identify where they're being shot from. You guys know Siege of Shanghai has a ridiculous amount of rooftops. Like, the entire map has some sort of roof that a sniper can get on. And if there wasn't this bullet trail system, I'm not gonna say it would be impossible to identify where they are, but it would be a lot harder. And so what this new bullet trail does is makes it so that when you're on the receiving end of getting shot by multiple snipers, it kind of gives you a fighting chance to identify where it's coming from. And so I kind of want to ask you guys, do you like this new system? I know there's a lot of people that are kind of on the fence. Some people like it, some people dislike it. And so let me know down below in the comment section if you enjoy it. Do you like that it makes it easier for you to kind of track your bullet as it flies, but also makes it so that you can identify where the enemy is coming from? Let me know down below. But overall, I am loving the Recon class in Battlefield 4, and I honestly cannot wait to try out all the new rifles that are going to be added into the game, all the new gadgets, and just to see the true potential that this class will bring to the table when the full game launches. But that is about it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and so until tomorrow, have a good one, and take it easy.